What's happening, everybody? Hope you're having a good night.
Wait, are we off? What day is this? Is it Wednesday
It's
already?
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Going early.
Going early.
Going a day early.
Didn't realize it would be so hard going a day early, did we?
No.
You think it's just a day early, but
We did it. We're going up to Austin
early.
tomorrow. Go hang out with Julia and her fiance. Hang out. So it'll be good. DJ, what's happening? Craig, what's going on? Logan, what's happening? Yeah, so just got out of jiu-jitsu a few minutes ago.
Why you're so red? Your nose is so red.
20 minutes ago. Worn the fuck out.
You guys get to participate in his ow, ow, ow tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, my audio was...
That's okay. You just had to face like you weren't sure what was going on in the world.
So I'm broken. That's why if you see the little meme there, I swear that's what it's like. Sometimes just people want to try to just murder you when you're in fucking jiu-jitsu. It's hilarious. So I rolled with a bunch of newbies, which is fine.
Like that one person's butt is hanging out.
That's his stomach. And he's currently got a bow and arrow choke going across his throat. So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun as shit, though.
Bow and arrow choke.
Yep, because he's pulling it like this, and he's holding on to the leg. So she's got his leg, and she's got his collar around his fucking throat, trying to kill him, basically.
All right. She's kicking his ass, basically.
Yeah,
Go
that's basically what that is.
Girl power.
Yeah, that's what that is. It's fun as shit. It's fun. Yeah, so I've been going to the chiropractor for the past couple of days. I went there yesterday. I probably should go there tomorrow.
When do you go again?
Friday.
Okay. And then you go next week 2 times, right?
Yep. I need to get straightened out again. So, hey, guys, thanks for coming, joining us on The Bar is Open with Beth and Greg.
But it's so much fun.
And that is...
I'm Beth.
Beth, it is fun. What's up, Reed?
Yeah.
How you doing? Mario, what's going on, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just complaining about... not complaining. My woes, my aches and pain woes. It's fun, though. That's the problem.
Is it?
At 44, though...
Is it really fun?
Residual after effects of...
Is it worth enough fun that for the next, 12 hours you'll be in pain?
Yeah.
And then you'll just start to feel better and you'll go again on Thursday.
Yep.
Well, you won't go this week.
I'll probably go Thursday.
Oh, you will?
We'll be back early enough, so...
I'm not working on Thursday.
Ruben, what's happening? Yeah, so we're going to go up to Austin tomorrow, see Julia and her fiance, which will be fun. Julia Gulia. Munguia. I think I got it right there. I've been practicing it. Munguia.
There you go. Bless you.
She actually had to send it to me one time and speak it into the audio.
Like we used to do, and we would get those customers that had the really weird spelling or weird last name, and so you would put it in the notes
like
exactly how.
Yeah,
right.
So
well,
you
like
spell it.
Yeah.
Or spell it, but it's.
But you would do like la, mon, tag, me. Like they would break it up, and just all the different ways we used to make it so that we could say all the different types of last names there are.
Yeah. So cheers, guys. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. It's a little, like I said, it's a little early for us, but we'll be back on Friday as well.
So here's the crazy thing.
What's up?
I've been going to bed really early this week.
Yeah.
I've been heading back to the bedroom early for me, 11:20.
Yep.
In bed, lights out by 12, getting 7.5 hours. I'm more tired than I do when I get 6 hours of sleep. I don't understand it.
Maybe it's because your body's just used to the 6 hours.
I don't know. Maybe. But 6 hours aren't.
But it's also been gray as shit here every single fucking morning.
Every morning until today it got earlier. Today was about noon. The sun came out.
It sucks.
It does.
It drives me fucking crazy.
Well, because it's so cloudy and overcast, and then the sun comes out, and it's so humid.
Yeah. It's like, would you say 85% humidity here or something like that?
I kind of made that up, but I'm probably not far off. Here, let me go.
I know we're kind of complaining. Live from the meat room, you cutting some meat, Reed? You're having a good night? Suicide Grace, guys. That's
71% humidity right now.
Right now. It was, what'd you say, 80 earlier?
I said I made that up.
Oh,
I said it's probably like 80.
Yeah. I don't know, but New Hampshire?
Yeah.
That's why I had to get the fuck out of there.
Why?
It's called, basically, there's like different types of depression you can get from.
Oh, the cloudiness? Yeah.
And it's called seasonal adjustment depression, right? I don't know if I had that, but it was just like from it being gray every day. And then you're so far north in New Hampshire, it's fucking dark at 4 o'clock or 3:30. Like, what the fuck? What do you do? Mm-hmm. You know, that's why you end up moving south and you stay here for the rest of your life.
I was laughing today because after I went, since I didn't get to go to the gym, I went for a walk and I walked about 1.5 miles in 30 minutes. And I came back, took a shower, blah, 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 did some things, like got out, blow dried my hair, did some things around the house, went
GG.
back like an hour later, and I literally looked like Peppermint Patty. I was like, I need to be back to Phoenix because that's the only place my hair is ever straight.
Yeah.
Most of the year.
Yeah, Ruben said you
Monsoon
need
season,
to.
I know. I saw that
did
too.
you?
About an hour, and
Stop
I was
watching.
like, "You want me to stop reading an hour before I go to bed? How dare you?"
Yeah. Just depends on the night, though. Some nights you're more tired than others. I think it's the nights you work out really, really hard.
Really, really hard, or drink too much the night before.
Well, there's that.
So, like on Saturday, we had a really good time,
Right.
and then on Sunday, I was dragging ass. So you know it was a good Saturday when you first get up and be like, "Babe, did I make an ass of myself in front of the neighbors? Please tell me I didn't."
No, we were good. We had a little driveway hangout on Saturday
Soiree.
night. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Just a
Did Ian get mad at
Sixes.
us because we gave McKenna a beverage?
no. He pretends
Okay.
to get mad.
I was like,
He's
the
doing
ne-
his
the
fatherly-
Sunday, I was like, I remember just handing her
doing
one and
his-
going, "Don't listen to him.
He does
You
his
can have this."
fatherly duty, and she goes, "Oh, it's not like I've never had one before." So you're like,
Yeah.
at least you're here with.
Well, we were celebrating her graduation
graduated
with her.
from high school.
She did,
Exactly, so-
and now she's at counselor at camp for the next
Camp
7 weeks.
counselor.
This is a camp that she used to go to.
Mhm.
That she was a participant, and now she's a leader.
She's
in
all
it.
grown up.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
kind of cool.
Yeah, so we've got some cool shit to talk about tonight. There's some stuff basically just all over the place that's going on. So pulled that shit together, just kind of go through that. And then, of course, on Friday, we'll give you kind of an update, see what happened in Austin.
Austin.
And, yeah, so let's jump into this shit. So first one that I saw, and this was on, and a lot of you guys might have already seen it, and I'll post these out to either the Facebook, the Bars Open. Oh, yeah, first and foremost, go out, check us out on the Bars Open with Beth and Greg on Facebook and Instagram, and then iTunes and Spotify primarily, and you can, if you have a Podbean, you can check it out there too. But I'll post this out there just so you guys know. If you're listening in, you can always just check it out if you're on iTunes or Spotify. But this one was interesting because it's not interesting. It's Officer Daniels basically. I saw it posted on his page, and that's
Right.
what I'll.
I think I've seen this one.
And he basically said, you know, fucking heroes doing hero shit.
Right. One time at
See
band
what's
camp.
open.
Yes.
Something else is open on my stuff. But heroes doing hero shit, basically. And if you guys saw this, it was pretty incredible. Let me see here real quick. Okay, let me get to it. Sorry, it's taking a second. There we go. So let me restart it. So basically, if you guys saw this, this is a couple of cops that ended up pulling a dude out of a car. The audio's not on this one, but this dude, they basically tell him, hey, we may have to break your leg.
No, I didn't see this one. This is different.
And they've got a crowbar, but he's crashed into a pole or some shit, and his dashboard's all fucked up, right? And the car starts catching on fire, right? And these cops sit in there to the point where, like, the flames were coming through the inside of the roof, and the guy's just, like, screaming, right? And you go, all right,
I gotta see this bigger.
these dudes are absolute heroes. You know, to say that there's
How'd
so
they
much
get him
risk.
out finally?
Just hang out. It's almost done. It's got another 30 seconds
Did
or
they have
whatever.
to break his legs?
Nope.
Oh.
They just fucking literally
Manhandled the dashboard.
and rip. See how he starts screaming right about now because the fire's coming through the car, right?
Right.
And they get his ass out of there. It's incredible, right? So you think about this and
That's
you go,
insane.
holy shit. And they just, see how they're just fucking,
Yanking.
yep. They just get him out and they just drag his ass off. But kudos to those guys.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, I want to just throw that out there because there's been quite a few stories like that happening. You got a little dirty
Wow.
glasses over. How do you look through those things?
They look fine until I take them off, and then I go to put it back on. I'm like, holy shit! Did I eat on those things? Did the dog
Probably.
lick it?
But again, shout out
Yeah,
to,
sorry. We
to those
digress.
guys.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, their dedication to stay with that man and get him out, is kind of insane because a lot of people might have run for the hills once the fire
Yeah.
started getting way too hot.
Yep. So there's that. We did a story a couple of weeks ago about the dude that like literally lifted the car off of the
Right.
woman.
I saw another one where it was a couple in a car that crashed. She was the driver, he was the passenger, and they were able to get her out pretty easy. And the gentleman was stuck. He actually did receive some burns to his legs and hands because they couldn't get him out fast enough. But they got him. I mean, they got him out as fast as they could.
Right.
And somebody had the wherewithal to go get a fire extinguisher, and that's probably the only reason why he
Just
wasn't
slowed it down
more
a little bit.
burnt. Yeah, but
remember
those guys, they didn't stop till they had him out either, and it's insane to me. That's such bravery.
Yeah, remember the dude that I said lifted the car up? He also had run into a building.
I remember you saying
and rescued somebody.
Yeah.
And then we had my buddy out in New Hampshire that ran into a burning building. It's like there's no
that's what my brother
worry
did
about
it,
themselves.
and
Yeah,
I asked before, would I do it? I don't know if I would do it.
probably. It's the
Depends,
ilk where you come from kind of thing. I think in a lot of cases.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think I would.
Yeah, but you never know.
It also depends maybe on how big the fire is.
Right. You never know. So yeah, just a cool shout out to those guys. So this is back to viruses and shit that we shouldn't be messing around with.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Like it's that ping tick or
that TikTok.
A ping talk. TikTok could be ping talk. I don't know.
I mean, it could.
Right. Is
maybe
shit we shouldn't mess around with. Right. And this little amoeba thing survived for 24,000 years, frozen in a Siberian permafrost.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, it's coming up.
I see it now.
And they just woke it up. Scientists just revived this thing.
So,
here you go.
It says it's an animal.
Yeah.
Oh, why are you handing that back to me? Are you done?
No, I don't need that right this second.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need that right now. But it goes down.
Alien, exactly.
It's fucking alien. Anything that's 24,000 years old.
So I want to know more.
All right, so I'm going to read it to you. So a microscopic animal has been revived after slumbering in the Arctic permafrost for 24,000 years. This is one of the fucking things that gets in
the ocean?
It is in permafrost. It's in like that frozen ground, basically, right?
Okay. In Siberia.
In Siberia. So Russia.
Right. No.
Frozen tundra bullshit.
Right.
So I don't know how to say this dude's name, so I'm not going to tip it or whatever these things. Beldoid rotifers typically live in watery environments and have an incredible ability to survive. Russian scientists found the creatures in a core of frozen soil extracted from Siberian permafrost using a drilling rig. So it's not a cicada. No.
What do they know about these animals?
They said it's a multicellular animal that can withstand tens of thousands of years in cryptobiosis, frozen state.
Okay.
Like fucking Captain America.
Okay.
Like he was in cryptobiosis.
At the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just at the point where we need to stop fucking around with stuff.
Okay, I get that point of view, but why do you think it's automatically bad?
Because it's going to jump in some dude's arm.
You see too many movies.
And then he's going to turn in, what was that goddamn movie I watched last night until 2 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, yeah, the Irreplaceables or something?
No. The one with the first Riddick. Black.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, the first one, though.
First one.
There's one before that.
Where
they've got the aliens that are running around. They're only at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to turn into that.
What did he shoot?
What do you mean, what did he shoot?
Those weren't... Okay, never mind.
No, not the people. There was one before that. You guys remember?
I know. The one where he can see in the dark and they crash and...
Yeah.
Him, the girl, and the gentleman get off are the three that survive in the end. So you stayed up, you watched Chronicles of Riddick, and then you watched another Riddick after that?
Yeah.
Well, because I got up to go to the restroom at 1:30, and I was like, what time? Greg's still watching TV? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was late night. I'm just saying, like, should we mess around with stuff like this with global warming's happening? Every day's Earth Day. Seas are rising.
Don't know. I mean, obviously they have a lot of information on this
defrosting
animal. I'm going to call it an animal because it doesn't look like an animal, but it's an animal. They obviously have a lot of information on it if they know what it is and how long it can survive it. So I'm thinking they probably know any dangers it may.
Why can't we revive, like, a fucking Siberian tiger instead? That would be just cooler.
They don't have the biology to last 24,000 years in a permafrost? I mean, if you watch that show, what was the one where Brandon Fraser came out of the he was a caveman that thawed?
Titanic?
No. I don't know. It had him and Pauly Shore in it.
I think it was called Iceman.
Was it? Something
No,
like
there
that?
was another one called Iceman. That was the original one.
But anyway, so he survived.
We suck at movies, by the way, guys.
We say that they know this by now, baby.
I know.
I don't think we have to preface it. Encino Man.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben.
With the save.
But at least I knew who was in it because that's 3/4 of the battle, and people can usually name the movie who are good with names.
I was going to say like
Ruben.
the Flintstones.
Ruben always
That was
knows.
John Goodman, though.
I never saw that.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
I don't think I did either. Anyway, so I don't know. It doesn't scare me like it scares you. One of the few things that doesn't
I'm not
scare
really
me.
scared. I'm just cautious. Like, you should be cautious about shit like this.
I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing.
Dude,
It's not from outer. Well, I guess it could be from outer space, but they know about these things.
all you do is give it to fucking Russia, gives it to China, and then they weaponize it.
Then it's got teeth all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like I remember last week, Species was on, and then Species.
And it looks like
2,
Species.
and
Gets
Species
underneath
2,
your fingernail.
Species 2 was on
Right.
with Mia. Anyways, it's where that creature that she made that kills this disease actually ends up cloning itself and going after humans because they think the humans are bad.
We don't
It was
know.
really stupid. Nothing like that would
24,000
ever
years
happen.
ago, shit was a lot different.
Mia Servino. That's a name from
Oh
the past.
yeah,
Blast
was
from
it
the
was it
past.
pre-broken like fixed nose
I don't know.
or
I have no
post
clue. It was
rhinoplasty?
in the 90s, I think. So you tell me, when she had rhinoplasty?
I don't know. I just remember she had like a nose, and then all of a sudden she didn't have a nose. She
Maybe
was
about Jennifer Grey.
no, she did too. Mia Servino definitely got rhinoplasty. So
To each their own.
what's with your giant?
I know. I'm
giant,
getting it. Hold on.
Did you say Sorry, I'm still sweating from jujitsu over here. My notes are sticking to me. Gross. Jesus.
So I'll tell you guys that Greg had to start. We made a rule that Greg, when he comes home from jiu-jitsu, because he's so disgusting and his clothes are so gross, he immediately strips in the utility room and puts his stuff
Wubba
in
wubba.
the laundry, in the washing machine immediately because I don't want to see it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to smell it. I will
It
burn
doesn't
it.
smell bad.
Right.
It smells like me.
sweaty, Greg.
You love it.
Not so much. I mean, I love you, but I don't think I love sweaty Greg.
She said, "Good call, Beth." Yeah, it's a good call. Like I wouldn't hand her any of my gear from her.
No, like one
it's
time
one
I
thing to
did
go work out.
One time I did touch it, and I was like, that's the most disgusting thing ever.
And if you've ever worked out and done jiu-jitsu or something like that, your gi weighs about 18 pounds after you're done with it, especially in like a super
heavy.
sweaty place like San Antonio. Fucking
Yeah,
gross.
well,
this
and
time of
especially
year,
from about end of May, would you say, to September, it'll be pretty humid. Like I was saying, the humidity is going to go down a bit, but it's going to be in the hundreds.
yeah, you
so,
can lose like 4 pounds in like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Totally.
Pretty easy.
Okay, so a dinosaur found in Australia was 2 stories tall and the length of a basketball
So
court.
it's 20 feet tall.
And the length of
And
a basketball.
How long is a
I will tell
basketball
you,
court?
it was. It is called the Australotopian Copernicus, and it's about 80 to 100 feet long, with 16 to 21 feet tall from its hip. So that's not even including. I'm thinking from the
80
hip.
feet long?
No, 80 to 100 feet long.
Yep.
And 16 to 21 feet from the hip. So here, there's a picture.
Okay.
Um,
So,
and
yeah,
from the
Gigi,
hip,
you
I'm
can
thinking-
get all sorts of gross
shit,
shit, but
yeah.
you wash the mats like in between
They do. They're
every
pretty good.
single class. Yeah, you absolutely have to do that. 'Cause that's,
Okay, so that's a picture
and then
of
you
it. Oh,
wash real good. Oh, sorry.
no worries. This is a picture of it.
Okay.
And
It
so
looks like it's
from-
smiling, for Christ's sake.
Well, it's yes, it kind of does. It looks like it's a happy pet. But so when they say from the hip, I'm thinking like right there where that front leg is, and it's brown. That would be from the hip. So he's actually, when they say it's 16 to 21 from the hip.
It's the top of the hip to the ground.
Okay.
So his
So he's
head can
actually
actually
taller?
go up higher.
Okay. But
Like a
wouldn't they want to
giraffe.
go from like the bottom of his feet to his top of his back? I don't know. That's just what I would do.
Ruben said 92 feet for basketball court.
Okay. So
That's fucking long.
now it's really long, and it's the biggest dinosaur they've found in Australia so far. And what's kind of cool is that it's not the first time they've found this animal, but they have been traditionally finding them. Give me a second. What? Somebody say something.
Yeah, can you imagine that in your backyard instead of a squirrel? If I found that upside down dead in
Well,
my yard,
he's
like
a herbivore, so
Captain Squirrel.
I mean, if you're gonna run into a dinosaur, this is probably the one you run in. You just have to watch his feet and his tail.
He had to defend himself somehow. Otherwise,
Well,
you're
because
just
he's
food.
so I'll get back to like how big he is compared to like Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
But
Remember Tyrannosaurus Rex? I think they ran in packs, so
yeah,
this
he's
guy's
still
fucked.
tiny compared to them. So they've been found in South America mostly, but now they're finding them in Australia. And what they're thinking is
Hydration, by the way. White Claw.
probably not the proper hydration.
Yeah, it's good
but
enough.
hydration nonetheless. So South America, Argentina, and now Australia, I guess all used to be before Titanics.
Tectonic plates
Tectonic,
shifted
thank you.
apart.
Yeah, and everybody moved to their
Back
proper.
in-
They were actually probably all centrally located by each other, and
Science
that's why they
Beth,
keep finding
jeez.
them. That's why they keep finding the same type of dinosaur in all these different countries now, because at one point they were all together.
Just like that 24,000-year-old fucking amoeba over there
No,
that's
it-
going to crawl up your goddamn nose. That's what's getting people with fucking lakes.
Oh, that amoeba?
Mm-hmm.
Meow.
It's actually turning them into jelly. It's bad.
Are you making that up?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because I will
Pangea.
never
There you
go
go.
in the water again. Let's see. I'm trying to see where it tells me compares them to like
What?
the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because we were saying he'd be screwed, but I'm pretty sure he could probably just his tail alone. And I think they used to use their
Are these
heads
things way bigger than... Oh, okay.
way
In
bigger.
size. Okay.
I was trying to find exactly where, but I can't remember where I saw it in the article. But I think they also use their heads as weapon, kind of like giraffes
Like
do.
big, hard,
Just
swinging them
it.
around until it lands in a T-Rex's mouth, and it's like,
Arr, arr,
fuck
arr,
you.
arr.
And,
Thank you, sir. May I have
and
another?
a bunch of T-Rexes are all like, give me that leg. Right? Because they're just like, yeah.
Anyway, so they dwarf the T-Rex, which is kind of cool.
So I think that's probably a natural.
Oh, there's a picture if you want to see
Okay. Let's see it.
of one of the. I think this is. It says
Are these like
Well, the
artist
model of what the-
renderings?
humerus of the dinosaur would look like next to the fossilized remains of the actual humerus, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So that is the bone they found, and based off that bone, they built one, and that's the humerus.
Very funny.
I don't know what bone the humerus is. Do you?
Something.
Is it in your hip?
I think it's in your
Knee.
leg.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure somebody on the boards knows because they're smarter than
Come
we
on,
are.
Science Beth.
Hey,
Didn't you Google this shit before we do this? Probably not.
probably
More
not.
fun this way.
Yeah. 'Cause then I
Trivia time, right?
But,
That's
so,
really
yeah,
what it
he
comes
was
down
kind
to.
of cool. I liked him.
Arm. DJ said arm.
Arm? He doesn't
So-
have arms.
Well, it's
So
very
would
funny.
it be his thigh?
Be like right here.
He doesn't have arms. He's got 4 legs.
Well, one of his goddamn front 4 legs.
I don't know. Fine. Whatever. I don't know.
All right, this is pretty funny. So this one is I was kind of so Rebecca Jamian, you remember the woman we met in the parking lot when we were in New Hampshire, and she's like, "Oh my God, she didn't recognize me, she recognized you."
Right, which I thought
Right?
was
And you had never
bizarre.
met her, right?
right.
So I'm going to read this and I'll show you a picture here in a second. So she said, it's just a funny ass story where she was trying to save a turtle.
That lady?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Oh, I felt so bad for her.
She said, today's one for the books. This is like she's a teacher.
She's teacher.
She's going to school. And I told her, I said, I'm sharing this shit on the show because it's funny as shit. I laughed. She said, I was driving down the 107. She's up in New Hampshire and she teaches right around there. On my way back, on my way to work, I had a great morning. The sun was out. My clothes were ready. I was on time, kind of, and I was entering Seabrook. I saw this huge snapping turtle crossing the street, about to get killed. So what did I do? I pulled over to help it. If you've ever seen a real snapping
They're not
turtle,
pretty.
it's not about being pretty.
They're mean.
They're fucking mean.
But they're not. They're turtles. They can't move that fast.
But if they get you,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
Are you going to lose a finger?
You're gonna definitely lose a finger. And this bitch is big. So she goes, what do? I pull over to help it. I figure I can pick it up in a towel and get it across the road. So I toss the towel on it,
I would have tossed hell
and
over
as
its
it's
head.
trying to bite my flipping fingers off, and of course all the cars stop to let me cross and watch the show. So I carried it across the road like a good Samaritan, and as I did, my flip-flop got stuck on the side of the road, caught me, and flung me down on the ground like a pumpkin being shot out of a trebuchet.
Did she ever? Okay, I'll keep you going. A pumpkin being shot out of a what?
Trebuchet.
Okay.
She said I fell full-on yard sale and landed almost on top of the snapping turtle. So I had to barrel roll out of the way, so I didn't lose a finger. After the initial shock of the fall, I realized that I had actually rolled through a patch of poison ivy. After a bottle of basically calamine lotion later, having to wash up in the teacher's room and kitchen sink, and a couple of very sore knees, I made my way through the day with a smile on my face. Guess it was there. Guess we'll see where we end up tomorrow.
Did
Fingers
she ever
crossed
put
I
back and
escaped
say if
poison
she
ivy.
got poison ivy?
No. So let me just see the link here. She did get poison ivy.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, suckage.
Yeah. It's perfect time for poison ivy in New Hampshire.
Some people aren't allergic to it, though.
Yeah. So it's just a funny ass story that, I had to share because she's watched the show a bunch. She's been hanging out.
Bless her heart.
Long-time listener.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yep. So, big turtle. These things are big.
And
they're old as shit.
Are they really?
She's just a good person.
I'm wondering how, that's an actual picture. No, she said it wasn't that turtle. It was a different turtle. So it must have been smaller.
Okay, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it must have been small
this
enough.
isn't the actual turtle. Oh, there we go. I didn't know.
Must have been small enough for her to pick up. Because those things get big, don't they?
I thought that was it. I didn't see that last.
And it's kind of funny that nobody got out of the car to flip and help.
Well, that's...
New England?
Yeah, it depends. It's a small community.
Seabrook, especially.
Yeah.
I would have gotten help and helped her.
Probably. Both of you guys would have ended up in fucking poison ivy.
Probably.
Because you're a nice person, Beth.
But I would have felt good about saving that damn turtle.
Goddamn turtle. I'd have made soup.
I run out of the car for 2 dogs in the middle of the road. I'm going to help a turtle if it's going to get run over. He hit a bird on Saturday. I almost lost my mind. I was like, you just killed a bird.
That little bastard.
He is on a mission.
He just flew straight into the windshield. He was looking over there and just fucking...
Check this out, Bobby.
And it was, yeah.
Where did he hit? He didn't hurt my car,
Top
did he?
of your windshield. Nah.
Okay.
He's just a little guy.
My second question, did he hurt my car?
Should be your first question. Fuck.
No, the bird. I wanted to see if maybe he lived. Okay, so tell me about this next one.
Oh.
This is crazy. Crazy.
Hang on, I needed a drink. I'm still hydrating.
I should have brought my water up here so you can have
So I
some
don't know if
water.
you guys have seen this, but this was a story that was kind of going around. It's been going around right now, really.
So this is recent.
Yeah. So this literally posted yesterday.
How many periods does school fucking have? I thought it only has 6.
8, I think.
I don't
7,
know.
8, 7 with
I don't have
without
I don't have kids in
with like a study hall maybe.
forever
I don't
since
remember. I
I've
haven't been in
school.
Like how many kids? How many classes
periods?
does like an 8th grader have? 7, 8, I guess. In a study hall maybe. It's a middle school. So mom arrested after posing as a 13-year-old.
She's in high school.
As 13-year-old daughter
maybe
sneaking
8th
into
grade.
middle school as part of a social experiment to expose security flaws. You guys see this one? This one was kind of a interesting one because they say like she's getting shit from both. She's getting kind of praise from some sides and she's getting shit from the other sides. Like, why would you do that? That's so fucked up. Blah blah blah. And then the other side's like, how
Hey,
easy was it for her to go
you
do
prove
this?
there's a problem.
Right? So it says a mother in Texas was arrested last week after posing as her 13-year-old daughter and sneaking into a local middle school as part of an alleged effort to expose security flaws at schools. A lot of the posters, it's just internet people, whatever. They were saying, a lot of people were kind of questioning, well, isn't it a lot easier with masks, right?
They're not wearing masks in Texas anymore.
In schools,
Nope.
some of them are, but it's up to the student. So if the student decides they want to wear a mask,
Maybe.
right?
But still, there should have been... That doesn't excuse the fact that she was able to get away with it because
they should have questioned it.
anybody now could do that.
So let me read you. I'll read you through the rest of the story. So she was booked on.
I was going to say, what was she charged with?
On last Tuesday on charges of criminal trespass, tampering with government records for impersonating her
I'm
daughter.
interested to see if the trespass one sticks because it's her daughter's school and she's allowed
That's
to go
probably
to her daughter's school.
They probably all will stick. Impersonating her daughter and infiltrating the school district, the school. So the mother who documented her story documented her social experiment and later posted on social media allegedly made it all the way to 7th period before she was noticed. She posted videos on YouTube. Garcia shows how she used skin tanner, hair dye.
Oh, she went all fucking out.
Yeah,
I thought she just...
in order to look more like her daughter. She then reportedly breached security at the school by using her daughter's ID. She basically just scanned it as a daughter. Her daughter's ID number and reporting that she had signed in. She allegedly wasn't asked to show any physical ID. And after that, she said hello to the principal and another faculty member, and then attended her daughter's classes. In another video, she said why I posed, whatever, as a 13-year-old daughter. It doesn't matter.
Too bad she can't, you can't see a picture of her daughter and a picture of her, so be like,
her daughter's 13.
Yeah, you can't. But that's what I'm saying. Too bad you can't be like, did she really look like her?
So she said Garcia complained that throughout the day, teachers were more concerned about her being on her phone than about who she actually was.
I can see that, though.
She said I think the deal breaker for me was actually walking in and posing as a 7th grader. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but it wasn't hard, and I made it all to all 7 periods. Until the last teacher, she was a female, and she said, Julie, can you stay after class? I said, absolutely. She looked at me, and she said, you're not Julie. She said, no, I'm not. So I took off my mask, took off my glasses, and I said, no, I'm not Julie. I'm Julie's mom, right? So she's defending her actions.
I see both sides. I get where she's concerned for her child's security and safety. I get that. Was it the smartest thing to do? Who knows?
Right. It just depends. It's an interesting, this one's going to be an interesting case study to the fact that somebody, and I saw
because it makes sense. I get what she's saying. If all she had to do was show her school ID, you could find those.
Cover your head, wear
anywhere.
Teenage kid clothes like a fucking sweatshirt.
Well, can kids wear baseball caps to school now?
I don't know.
We can wear them to work now, so I would think maybe they can wear them to school.
But you wear a mask, it covers most of your face.
If you can't wear a baseball cap and you wear a mask, hello.
Right.
You're not seeing anything of that student.
You got gray hair, you're bald like me, that's one fucking thing. But if you're kind of maybe you're petite or something and you kind of look like your kid, or, I don't know.
Well,
so
and it does
Jose Sedana said
least,
no.
Huh? No baseball caps?
Yeah, I don't know.
And shouldn't more of the teachers have recognized like that one teacher did? I don't know. I'm not a teacher, and you have a ton of kids.
It depends. There's a lot of situations.
There's a lot of kids, so do you have the wherewithal to focus on each and everyone every single day?
One of the interesting things that somebody brought up was, do you remember in Arizona, there was I think it was a guy that posed as a female student, or was an older female that posed as a very, very young student for 6 months. She was 30.
Wasn't that 21 Jump Street?
Kind of, but this girl was going to school.
Yeah.
Right?
Why?
Posing as a high school girl just to fucking do it.
I think I vaguely
That's
remember.
Creepy as shit.
I vaguely remember that. I think she was trying to get all the
I don't remember the whole story, but I remember when we were there.
Right.
So it kind of goes back to, okay.
Yeah. I think you probably have to be more careful. Is there probably a better way for her to have done this, perhaps? Talk about it at PTA. Hey, so here's my concern.
How easy would it be? I'm going to test it.
Or at least, who do you set it up with? Maybe the principal, and just be like, I'd like to do this social experiment to see how prepared the school is. Here's the thing. The school is probably going to tighten down on their...
DJ said every charge is legit. Absolutely. Absolutely. But she absolutely exposed major security issues. Yeah. And that's the catch with it. You're talking to elementary school. Or a junior high, middle school, right?
Yeah.
And...
clearly doesn't know that. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like if you're in class with these kids... 9 months, let's just say it's usually longer than 9 months, but 9 months out of the year, and you're supposed to be developing relationships with them because you were fostering and mentoring and preparing.
Or when Gigi mentioned, or the student sucks at being a student, never participates, sits in the back, and just kind of floats through school.
Maybe. But I guess...
I was definitely one of those in some of my
I guess it depends
classes.
Then on...
But
the student, was her mom, was her daughter more outgoing, more involved, or was she, you don't know.
There's a lot that goes into it.
The kid, not Nemo, but the emo kid that's, the emo kid that's in the back because he's fuck the establishment. That's more like anarchy. But
That's
you know what I mean.
Kids. That was me. Fuck this place.
Fuck this
I don't
place.
need to be here.
I don't need to learn.
Oh wait. I've got to take that class again.
I'm required by law to be here
it.
and I need to graduate. Yeah. Yours was because you overslept. That's the ridiculous part. No, it'll be interesting to see.
Fancy say.
What?
That changed? Nothing's changed, dude.
Yeah, right. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it, both from the perspective of the mom and the perspective of the school. We'll never hear what happens with the school because we just won't.
That's true. Somebody just said my kids' teachers did not know most of their faces because of the masks. You know what? And that's very, very true because think over the past year how many people you've met on a recurring basis that
when
you
I got
do
my
not
eyelashes
know
done,
what they look like.
They were
like,
saying,
their
they were
eyes.
like, I was going to say you look so different, but it's not. It's just because you don't have to wear your mask anymore and I can see your smile now. And I was like, oh, that's true, huh?
Yep.
We can finally see each other's full faces.
Yeah. That is your personality, in my opinion. Your face is you.
Right.
I mean, your eyes are.
I
but
will
your
say,
whole
though,
thing.
that we've all, maybe, especially, we don't see them as often as we see teachers, but we go to places that people would know if it was us or not, even with masks on.
Personality-wise.
Well, just even having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I go to my allergist once a week.
Voices,
they know,
certain things like that. Yeah.
When I walk in, they're like, Beth.
But what happens if you're a teenage boy and you go through puberty, like in
good gravy.
8th grade? Like,
well, first you're going to stink.
the big. What happened? Yeah, probably. So you go from not being the stinky kid to being the stinky kid?
Or from being the stinky kid to not being the stinky kid?
No, I think it's the other way around.
No.
at that
Like
age.
if somebody impersonates you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because that would be the thing. You'd be like, I remember to brush my teeth and put deodorant
I
on.
put on clean socks today.
Like, I'm not going to school without taking a shower. Even if I am her parent.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, there's all sorts of different views, and I don't think that.
But I think the number one.
I don't
thing
think
that
there's one wrong
pointed
or one
out-
right. I think that they're all right and wrong in some form or aspect for all of it.
Yeah,
you know?
I think the big point of that is that it did just shine a big fucking blazing
Security
light
issue.
on its security issue.
Yeah.
Right. So. Yeah, Queen's Jubilee, Queen's Platinum Jubilee. I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does that mean? Queen's Platinum Jubilee. What's platinum? Is that like 140 years? How old is that lady?
If you give me a few
She
minutes.
94?
Why don't you listen?
I am listening.
Britain will celebrate Queen Elizabeth II 70 years on the throne with 4 days of festivities, beginning with her ceremonial birthday parade on June 2nd, 2022. I immediately read that line and said, she's 95 years old and we're planning for a birthday a year out from now. Who even knows she's going to be alive? Well, her husband just passed away. And granted, I don't know how close they were, but a lot of times when one spouse passes, the other spouse passes. Close they're in. Now, granted, I don't think she liked him very much because she never made him a prince. Remember, we had that
She never
whole
made him the
conversation.
king.
Okay, fine. She never made him. Damn it! You gotta really wax this thing, or sand it.
Wax it. Wax on.
And I was looking down. Nice, Beth. Way to go. Whew, okay.
Come on. Professionalism is what we strive for here.
Negative. But so that's the first thing that came to my head was, okay, they're planning for a birthday party that's a year out. Hopefully, I'm hoping they don't have to put any deposits down for all this shit because if they lose their money if she dies.
I'm fairly certain they're not worried about the fucking deposit at fucking
do we know?
Applebee's.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to have everything,
Like-
but that's the first I was like, are they having to pay for the marching band? And
fairly certain it's part of the royal chest of they own all of it.
right. I mean, it's kind of, but I thought it was funny. I was like, I'm not planning a birthday party for
So a platinum jubilee
It's
I just
70.
Googled
70 years.
Yeah, 70 years.
That's what I told you.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, listen.
Listening.
Britons will celebrate Queen Elizabeth II 70 years on the throne is the first thing I
That's a
said.
long time. Could you imagine?
God,
doing
it
anything
really
for fucking
is.
70
She's
years?
95, but I mean, she's pretty spry for 95. She
Is
walks
she?
on her own.
Oh no, yeah, she's doing better than
I mean, my
fucking
dad's
Joe Biden,
86.
so
He's
that's good.
and she's doing better than my dad, which is cute that I think he
I
joined.
think she
the
gets
gym.
a lot of naps.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
That's one of the benefits of getting old is naps.
Nap time?
My dad takes a nap every damn day.
The queen's nap time.
Like from 1:30,
we do
somewhere
not
between
disturb
1:30
her.
and 2, he takes a nap and he sleeps like for 30, 40
Then she
minutes.
gets like stem cell injections every day.
Maybe.
Like baby stem cell.
Maybe she's like with Tom Cruise and that's why she looks so good for 95.
Fuck
So
it.
they also
Could be
say
true.
the celebration will kick off with the first full staging of Trooping the Colors, the parade of more than 1,400 soldiers that marked the Queen's official birthday since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. So they skipped it last year because of the pandemic, but they're going back to it, and it's going to be huge. I have to sneeze.
Uh-oh. Don't sneeze in. Blah.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea.
Anyways, so
Yeah, Ruben, dude. Ruben goes, pretty sure the queen has been drinking toddler blood since 1953. That's what I'm fucking saying, dude. Now she just fucking injects
now
it.
she's just
Mainlining it.
Yeah.
It's like,
But I mean, I think it's cool, especially because like when I was looking through stuff, there's so much.
why didn't they give it to
They're
the prince?
Still trying to like cause trouble for the monarchy. Like I read this one article that were saying that they found records that said that they wouldn't put foreigners or people of color in certain positions within the.
And it was like
It's
1945.
1960. I was like, a lot of people were doing that. What I mean, it's just the way the world was, unfortunately. But it's not like they did something wrong that nobody else was doing. They're just trying to.
They
like,
were
still-
assholes. If they can accept that they were assholes
Well, and that's what
back
they
then,
said.
then,
They said,
yeah.
you know, we hold ourselves to higher standards now. We understand that, well, that was the way the world was. It's no longer acceptable to be that way. And we strive to live in a world where we are making it better. But I was laughing because the other story I found is Meghan.
Yeah, she's just a fucking bitch,
So
I think.
that's why Meghan McBitchy bitch. She wrote a book.
Is that your new
called,
nickname for her?
Yeah, she wrote a
Nice.
book called Benches, and it's about
how she's been benched.
No, it's called Benches, and it's the relationship between her husband and her son Archie, and how it's so wonderful. But then it also generalizes, like coming up for Father's Day, sons and their relationships with their fathers. Here's the thing, though. So they decided they didn't want to be part of the royal family any longer. It says written by Duchess, and I'm like, wait, how you gave that up? I mean, Duchess of Sussex is no longer Duchess of Sussex if you
Sussex?
Sussex, if you gave him
Is
the big
she?
middle
I don't
finger.
know. I don't
no,
know.
they resigned.
But I don't know if they still keep their titles.
If I remember correctly, they
Do they keep their
don't.
titles?
And hers was a gift, not born into it. So I'm like, either be Meghan Markle's and tell them to F off, or be the Duchess.
Does anybody
and
watch their goddamn podcast or listen to it or
No, I think
anything
I
like
would fall
that or
asleep.
whatever it is? Or
I don't know why she's like nails on a chalkboard for me. I don't know why, and I don't do that with very many people.
well, she didn't even know him
She-
before all this stuff.
she
She didn't even
is
know
like
he was
nails.
a prince. You know that, right?
Yeah,
She didn't
right.
know.
No, she lived under a rock. I mean, she was only on Suits and Hallmark, for crying out loud. I mean, she had no life. But I don't know why she irks me so bad. She's like one of those people.
Javon said, Megan bitch.
Megan
Nice.
bitch. I like that. That's it. We're going with that one.
Yep, that's it. Fuck it.
Um,
What's the organized crackdown? Is that
oh,
about
this is
Meghan
kinda
Markle?
huge.
Or
This is, I mean,
is this something different?
this is something different, but it's kind of cool because global crackdown on the organized crime after high-tech U.S.-Australian sting. Basically what it is
Is this the cops that just got arrested?
No.
Okay, this is
This
something
is
different.
the U.S. and Australia hacked into an app that's like a black market app
Okay.
used by criminals.
Dark web kind of shit?
Yeah,
Dark web.
to read millions of encrypted messages, leading to hundreds of arrests suspected organized crime figures in 18 countries. Australia had 200 arrests yesterday.
How many do the U.S. have?
I don't know. It didn't.
Probably
I know it was a joint effort, but
a couple of years
I
ago,
think
we'd had
it was-
a shit ton of them.
I think a lot of it was
more.
because it was,
Nothing. Go on.
It was 18 countries that were involved in it,
Okay.
and several of them had arrests. Let's see, but it was funny because the one guy gave all his people under him a phone with just this app on it, thinking there'd be no way that they could link anything to them based off of these phone numbers.
Okay.
But they were able to trace them and get all the messages and use those as evidence in these arrests. So I just thought, I was like, wow, And a lot of them had to do with drugs and arranged murders. There was a couple, like, they were getting ready to kill a family of 5.
International, like, mobsters, kind of?
I mean, don't all criminals think they're mobsters?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Or is it... It was kind of. It sounds very much like dark web kind of shit. Like,
I mean,
because
it
on
really
the dark web,
is.
like you can get
I think it
arms, you can get fucking
drugs,
prostitution, kids,
girls, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of thing where you could go and you basically were telling people what you wanted them to do.
Chris Hansen, these motherfuckers. Chris Hansen, remember him?
Why is that name familiar?
Because he was the Catch Predator guy.
Oh,
only
yeah.
they did it big.
They did it.
They went big.
They did do, and they went like technology. So 224 people arrested, including members of outlawed motorcycle gangs, while New Zealand said it detained 35 people, and there are still some ongoing investigations and possible arrests that are going to happen. So I thought it was just kind of like, you don't
crack down on the bad shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was on my way here, and I was on the way home from class. Okay. If you're in Washington and you want to get the pokey poke, they'll give you a joint now. So yeah, there's that. So
is it legal there?
So we've come.
So couldn't you just get it without getting?
So now we've gone all the way from like
$1 million drawing.
You could win $1 million, or you could just get drugs from the state. Whatever.
Well, the state's allowing you to get drugs already, so why do I need?
So whatever, they're just giving you drugs. It's fine. I'd rather take like a 6-pack of beer if I was. I mean, a 12. Nah, I'm not gonna sell myself short. Case of beer. I'm not gonna get the fucking thing. Whatever.
Right.
But personal choices. Wash your hands. Brush your teeth. Take your vitamin D.
Are you making that shit up with the vitamin D?
No.
I'll have to do a little research.
Google it. It's good for you.
I'll do it. So I just thought that was a cool story.
Yeah. So next thing, and this is kind of one of those things that...
I had questions about this. I'm glad you're going to talk about it.
So this is one
I didn't even know they still do the draft?
Yeah.
You still have to sign up for the draft?
The draft is something that's been around for...
Ever.
Since, Vietnam and stuff like that. Before, I mean, I don't know if it was before that, but I just know it was around for a long time. I got to find the case here real quick. So I remember when I graduated high school and I turned 18, I had to go out and sign up. It's called Selective Service, right?
Right.
And so the Supreme Court is being asked to basically look over the current laws on the books. Because if a male in the United States does not go out and sign in, you go to the post office basically, and you sign up for whatever service you want to be in. If it's fucking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, whatever. And sorry, hit the wrong button. No, that's not what I wanted to do.
It scared me.
If you don't do that within a certain amount of time, it's a fucking federal. It's a felony, right? So what the Supreme Court's being asked to decide whether it's sex discrimination for government to require only men to register for the draft when they turn 18, right? And this is an interesting thing. So the draft is, so it's registered for selective service, rather. Sorry, Ruben, thank you for clarifying. So it's registering for selective service in lieu if there were ever to be a draft. Right. So you lose, so you could lose college aid. You could lose, there's a lot that can be imposed onto men, right? So the question of whether it's unconstitutional to require men but not women to register could be viewed as one with little practical impact. The last time there was a draft was during Vietnam, of course. But now it's basically an all-volunteer force. But if it ever came down, shit hits the fucking
These
fan.
are people that are going to get called into service.
Right. And at least you get to pick which one you want to go into.
Right.
Or you can sign up, right? So, jeez. But the question comes is, if we're going to have selective service, military selective service, then should women have to do it too?
I say yes.
I do too, 100%.
I would think every feminist should be saying...
Even if you're not a fucking feminist.
I'm not a feminist, but I would think every feminist would be like, equal rights for equal pay bullshit. I want to be able to sign up. They won't, because they're all pansy asses.
Right.
Sorry for my feminist friends who I still love you, even though you're feminist.
If you want equality,
yeah,
it's
got to be across the board.
I haven't thought about this since I just read
and it's been kind of all over the news lately.
Yeah, but I hadn't thought about it because I did it a million years ago.
And I could see why. I mean, it's still. So we talk about catching up with the times and changing all these things. We should be changing this because when did women get to start joining the service?
Oh, Civil War. They just didn't get to go and fight in combat necessarily.
Right. Well, and didn't they only get certain positions like nursing and?
Oftentimes, yeah.
They weren't actual soldiers.
Some of it now it's starting to shift over, and probably I don't know. You guys probably know better than me. Probably past 10 years, but only in certain specifics. Like you're not going to see necessarily like special forces.
Right. It's a little tough.
Yeah, it's a little different. You have the qualifications.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to figure out now. But
I just feel like this is kind of backwards now.
Aside from all of that.
I just think it's kind of backwards now because we're coming from a world where women were homemakers, they had the babies, they took care of the house, to a world where women are CEOs, they're leading their own companies, they're they're forced to be reckoned with. And why are we still making them the girl who's going to stay at home and make me dinner versus the girl who's going to go into intelligence and
be a fucking complete badass or whatever. I mean, it really comes down to...
Well, because every commercial you see for the military includes a woman in it.
Absolutely. So should Selective Service, and I think you and I agree with it, it's just something to pose out there, right? And it's, if your daughter, you had a daughter and a son, and your son had to do it...
Right?
Would you feel better or worse that your daughter didn't have to do it?
I mean, I can't talk from that.
You want to be protective.
I can't talk from that because I'm not a mother, but I would hope that I'd be like, come on, sissy.
Yeah.
You got to do your part as an American just like everybody else does.
Right.
But
Mom, you didn't have to do it. Well, fucking times changed.
Yeah. Back then, we were considered, you want to just have babies? Is that what you're telling me? You just want to be a homemaker and have babies? Then...
I mean, really, it's kind of a moot point because, again, this is only those times where it would be like, okay, my 44-year-old ass, I'd much rather grab my rifles or go do it than have an 18-year-old do it because I've at least lived a lot of my life.
Right. I mean,
That's
you have some knowledge that he doesn't have, but he probably has stamina that you have stamina.
We don't need to I don't need to hump a bunch of shit.
You could,
Fly me in.
Most of us couldn't. You
right?
could.
But it's different times, right? I mean, that's ultimately what we'd rather do. And then, DJ,
I agree.
Yeah.
If they're going to keep it, then they should draft. If they're going to keep the draft, women should be registered.
I think so, too. And it's one of those things that you,
weasel the way into World War II. I mean, I think women have probably wanted to be involved in the military longer and from a different perspective than they've been allowed to.
And it was just a
recent
different perspective, right? And it was, I'm not saying that we needed a shit ton of typists, but that's what the job was, or nurses, or
they were behind the desk or
they
behind the lines taking care of people. Yeah.
They're the ones that got everybody healthy again or whatever it was, right? And DJ says served with a shit ton of badass women's. Dude, there are good and bad people, gender, regardless of gender.
No, but so here I will tell you that my brother and my oldest brother can be such a Hispanic male, like just sometimes I look at him and the words coming out of his mouth leave me like dumbfounded when he's like, women should not be in the military, and they should not be in law enforcement, and they should not be in the ministry. I'm like, where the fuck did you grow up, and who hit you in the head?
I remember when he said that, you were like, oh my God.
We were at a restaurant. I remember going, and you put your arm on me, and you're like, Beth, I was like, oh no, I'm not keeping quiet. And I was like, didn't I call him an idiot? I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I love you, but you're an idiot, and you just made the whole world jump back 60 years with this train of thought. And he's like, well, they can't. I know. I get it. They're never going to be a man. But they can do great things, and
Fuck yeah, there's a shit ton of skills.
Some women are stronger than a lot of men.
Depending on the dude, fuck yeah.
I mean, I think I'm probably stronger and tougher than a bunch of men.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. But no, there's also a different skill set that you all bring, that women bring. Not you all, calling y'all out. But no, there is. I mean, I can't remember Dan talks about this on the Drinking Bros podcast. There was a CIA analyst that, she was KIA, but she was just an amazing, amazing woman, right? And, without her, like, so many bad guys wouldn't have been caught.
Right.
And you go, yeah, that wasn't a dude. That was a
And Gigi said,
mind of her.
There still has to be somebody, she's like, now that I think about it, I guess somebody does have to raise the kids. But that's also what's changed in this world. It doesn't have to be the woman. There's a lot of stay-at-home dads.
Fuck yeah.
If
she made more money, I'd stay at home right now and watch my dogs all day long.
If your wife is
do that.
Is a boss and there's no need for you to work and you don't want to work,
as you call
that's
it,
okay. Bitch boss?
A badass bitch.
Yeah. Bab. That's okay if that's what's good for their household. I don't think there should be a gender specific who stays home and who goes to work.
Not anymore. There's no need for that.
There isn't. As long as there is one that's willing to stay home. Although we have friends that were both in the military and got deployed at the same time and had to put their kids with their grandparents, or a brother or a sister. So maybe I'm even limiting it by saying one of them has to choose.
Shannon Kent. There you go. Thank you. Navy intel officer. Yep.
Gigi, me, my dogs, and my Glock
could watch this house, no problem.
Are going to protect this house. I'll take your Glock and my SIG. There's a bug. I'm just so I just as from a woman's perspective, I shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I
shouldn't
shouldn't bring every woman's because I know I have friends that would very much disagree with me, and I have friends that would agree with me. I
wonder if those friends, like I have one in mind that has a son and a daughter that is.
Oh, she'd be okay with her son, but not her daughter.
And she's not.
I don't think so. I think if that's what her daughter wanted to do, she'd be like, okay.
I don't know.
I do.
That's just me personally.
And then we have other friends though that like I don't
know.
A
lot of my friends would be like, no, sign the motherfucker up.
The daughter?
The kid. Yeah. Whatever, don't matter.
The gender doesn't.
They know. Yeah, it just depends on the.
It's a great conversation, and there's a lot to be said for both sides of thought. It's a great debate. And so it's interesting.
I don't know if it's a debate. It's just a conversation.
Are they?
I haven't. It's coming up through the courts.
Okay.
So, but they're going to talk about it. So, at least I don't know if they'll make a decision on it. But it'll go through the process or whatnot. So, just a thing again. I hadn't thought about that since literally I signed the goddamn paperwork in 36 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
36 years? No.
You were 18?
26 years? Hashtag math. 26 years.
40 would be 30 years.
26 years.
I always think you're 46, and you're not, so don't ask me. Right? Okay.
So you've got Texas. I didn't get a chance to read into this. Literally right before this is a very early in the week show. Normally we have Monday, Tuesday,
and Wednesday
to prep for a show on Wednesday. But like I said, we're heading out of town tomorrow to go up to Austin to hang out, and hopefully go see some shows up at the Drinking Bros studio. Hang out with them. Yep. So we'll be back on Friday.
That'll be another tough one because we will have been
hanging out.
Yeah.
But we can come up with some shit.
Oh, yeah.
There's always fun shit that happens in Austin.
So the Governor Abbott, Governor of Texas, has signed Senate Bill 986, who was brought forward by Senator Lewis Colkhurst. Has signed it, and what it means is that businesses that required so-called vaccination passports can no longer require proof of vaccination without getting penalized.
Okay.
So state contracts could lose, they could lose their state contracts, they could lose their permits, they could lose their operating permits because the
Jesus, twice tonight, honey.
Yeah, I know. The state of Texas is 100% open, and they want to make sure that people have the freedom to go where they want to go without any limits. And what kind of brought this about was there's a couple of, let me get to the bottom here. There's a couple of cruise companies that are getting ready to, like the Carnival Cruise is getting ready to start being able to port in Galveston to have trips coming out of Galveston. But they're saying that only vaccinated people can get on the cruise ship.
Yep.
And that kind of started a little bit of
some grumblings. Did you hear
Grumblings.
about the Florida
Florida, they're
Fine.
fining them $5,000 if they
per
decline
Yep.
or
they changed their whatever it is, Caribbean.
well, because they're
cruise-
based out of Miami,
Yeah.
so
and they said, we won't do that. And they whatever the cruise line said, fuck that.
I was wondering, like, it doesn't say that, and this just happened today, so it's kind of weird that they didn't say that they have decided not to do that, because I was wondering, it's a Miami-based company, would they still be able to require them to do that here when they're picking up passengers in Texas? But they're doing business here, so I'm sure they have to have some sort of permits or licensing to, port,
To
whatever.
port here?
Yeah,
Yeah. Dock here,
and
I guess.
so they're serious about these people will find some penalties for making people prove they've got their
vax card.
yeah. It's kind of, I like it. I'm glad, but we've made the decision not to get vaccination. We know a lot of people, but here's the funny thing is they said in these articles that I was reading, it's like 50% of Texans have been vaccinated. I'm like, I call bullshit, because in my family of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 people, one.
Your dad.
My dad. Everybody else is like, no.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where did you get 50%?
So this is
If we're a statistic, my
this
family
is
not.
Senator Rand Paul, who I don't give a shit about, but he there's a statistic. He said Cleveland Clinic study of 52,238 employees shows unvaccinated people who have had COVID-19 have no difference in reinfection rate than people who had COVID-19 and who took the vaccine.
Well, that we just talked about last week. You get those antibodies now.
Yeah. So you got the antibodies, right?
Yes. So, but it kind of also, it's funny that came up for me today, because there's also, the next thing I was going to talk about was Vaccinate or Terminate. There is a hospital in Houston. It's the Methodist Hospital out of Houston, gave nurses until midnight on Monday, which I think was the 7th, to get back, to at least get one vaccination, or they were being suspended without pay for 2 weeks and then being fired.
Fuck off.
Well,
Fire me.
Well, exactly, and
I'm going on unemployment.
But this is what made me, like, they had some good points. Like, some people were like, here's the thing, we went to work every day in the center of this pandemic, and for some of us, we risked our lives to help these people. And now that there's a vaccination, we didn't get it when there wasn't a vaccination.
Right.
Now there's a vaccination, and the hospital is saying to retain your job, you have to get this vaccination. Seems like
fuck yourself.
Well, no, it seems like that's what they're telling the nurses.
Yeah, and if I was the nurses, I would band together and be like, get fucked.
And they did.
There are a lot of nurses I know that
won't get it. I know.
Did get it.
No.
And they were happy as fucking
They're
shit.
50-50, like everything else, it's 50-50.
But I'm like, you cut 50% of the nurses out,
you're screwed.
You're fucked.
You're screwed.
You're shooting
You're
yourself
back to where you were during the pandemic,
Yep.
when some people said they weren't working because of it.
Right.
But the hospital, though, I'm like, because they were like, anybody who leaves their post before their shift is over for that Monday night, you're automatically fired. So of course nobody left their job, because they're like,
what hospital was this?
Methodist out of Houston.
Yeah, that fucking
Houston, yeah.
they need to be
Well, and
thrown under
they
the
did have quite a bit of support. There was a big group that was out there, and they were picketing. I don't know if that's still the right thing to call it. What do you call it now?
protesting.
Protesting.
Whatever.
Thank you. Let me get to the times. They were protesting, and they also said anybody that was doing it on the hospital property would get arrested. So they were all basically in the median, like on the sides, in the median, protesting so that they could.
That hospital's just trying to be so goddamn woke.
Well, and this is what they came out and said. Today is the deadline for Houston Methodist employee to comply with the mandatory COVID-19 vaccine policy. We are proud to report that almost 100% of the 26,000 employees have complied, making the right decision to fulfill their sacred obligation to protect our patients.
Decision.
Unfortunately, a few employees, and by few, it's like 150 employees, so it's more than a few.
Okay.
A few employees have not met the vaccine requirements and are inviting other employees to join them as they end their shift today. We fully support the right of our employees to peacefully gather on their own time, but it is unacceptable to even suggest they abandon their patients to participate in this activity.
Go fuck yourself.
We have faith that our employees will continue putting our patients first. It's unfortunate that today's milestone of Houston Methodist becoming the safest hospital system in the country is being overshadowed by a few disgruntled employees. I don't think it's the employees are disgruntled. I think some of the population is too.
I mean, okay, if you're at risk and you potentially could be around other people that are at risk, I'm not saying don't get the goddamn shot. If you're comfortable with it, get the fucking shot.
Right.
But if you don't want to get the
But
shot
what's the
and you're
difference
healthy as
between
shit,
that and then there was no vaccination? They were still
That's the
having to
fucking
be
thing, like,
around people.
exactly. You were there. You wear all the goddamn face. Okay, so if they get the shot, do they not have to wear the face
I know,
mask
it doesn't
anymore?
talk about that.
I goddamn guarantee they don't. They're still wearing all the masks. I'm sure their fucking faces are still all beat up. So they
Yeah, I don't know.
fuck off. There's other hospitals, there's other places.
Well, and nurses are in short
Short
demand.
demand, man.
So,
Yep.
I mean, honestly, unless this Memorial Hospital is well staffed, they're going to fill this if they lose 150 nurses.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 26,000
Especially
employees.
if they're-
26,000 employees got vaccinated, but how many of those were nurses? And you need nurses almost more than you need doctors.
Yeah.
You know,
There's one doctor for every 20 nurses.
Right.
Right? My
Right.
mom was in the hospital for
Well,
years.
we have family members that are
A lot of-
nurses.
yeah.
I have a few on my side of
Right?
the family.
And you go, yeah, definitely talked to more nurses.
Yeah.
I talked to the doctor once a
Yeah.
fucking
Same
day
thing when my
if I
dad's in the
caught
hospital.
them. Right? Yeah, they can get
Nurses are the caregivers, you
I've been-
know. So
yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
I thought it was funny because
Grr.
because they're saying that the hospital is saying that they are in line and legally can do this because they're in line with the federal regulation that the CDC or not CDC, the Equal Employment, blah blah blah.
Just tell them you got it then. And be like, HIPAA fucking law.
Well, and so I thought it was weird. So we got this thing where businesses can't make customers. Wonder how that's going to impact
It's
employees.
a fucking HIPAA violation. It's a
Employees.
federal law.
Yeah.
It's your privacy.
Do you think that we'll start to see more companies requiring people to get vaccinations?
It's a privacy. It's your fucking medical privacy. Do you think they could ask you, are
Well,
you
you know,
on...
we don't
Remember we've
have a
talked-
government where we have privacy
But
anymore.
remember when we've talked about like mental health and being on Wellbutrin and doing those sorts of things, right?
Right.
Would you be cool if your fucking boss was like, did you take your Wellbutrin today?
Oh, fuck no. I'd be like, you don't need to be all up in my
There
business.
is no goddamn difference than them saying, did you take your cholesterol medicine today? Did you take your fucking this today? Are you fucking kidding me? Now, if I'm at a school or something like that, like the school can require like MMRs and
Right.
certain vaccination records, right? But I don't know that that's different from an employment standpoint. So, and the vaccine isn't even fucking FDA approved.
And that's what somebody was like,
Yeah.
why would I get something
it's
that's
under an
not
emergency
FDA
authorization
approved.
order.
right?
Go
I don't know.
fuck them. Yeah,
It's,
I'd be
It's
All
a
fired up.
slippery slope.
all fired up.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we got? We got
We got real Mission Impossible. So let's get back down to
Hold on, I was
all right, real
reading.
quick.
I like GG. Numbers. Politicians look at numbers with zero context and force the 5% of adults, nurses, etc., to get vaccinated. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I read it and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. These people risk their lives for 18 months.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know, but okay, whatever. But yeah, real Mission Impossible, which I thought it was funny
So
because
on to the next
we know,
vaccine.
we all know. I'm sure
Remember
we all
when,
heard Tom Cruise
went banana fucking batshit crab cakes
on
his crew.
right, and
But we will not, blah, blah, blah,
we
because
will-
you
if
and you are
well, they
within
were
6 feet,
saying if you weren't he's used meters, so it ended up being like 6.25
3.25 meters.
something. You will be fired.
Yeah. Did he fire anybody?
They didn't say that. They just referenced it that he did do this.
So what happened?
But
Mission Impossible 27.
Mission Impossible 7 is the production is shut down until July 14th due to a positive COVID test result.
One?
It says coronavirus test results. It says Zolts, but it doesn't say how many. Did you say it was one?
I thought I read one.
So
I could be wrong, but
so yeah, it says in December, Cruise launched an expletive-laden rant at colleagues on the Mission
But I
Impossible
mean, in
set.
his defense, he was keeping a fucking movie production.
No, and I get it. And
we talked about it. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
I get it. I do. I just think there's one way to give a message, and there's another way to give a message.
well,
and going
I mean,
on
the guys
a rant.
were practically next to each other, so like
He reportedly spotted 2 crew members violating social distancing rules.
yeah.
And so I think there's probably a way to pass along your message without losing your shit. Now, if it was the 30th time, okay, let's be real. If it was the 3rd time you've had to tell these people, lose your shit. I get it. Nobody wants to repeat themselves over and over again. No. But I'm just, so now I guess that June 14th will be that 14-day window of nobody testing.
June 14th? You said July 14th.
No, June 14th.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
I'm assuming that's probably because that's when the 14-day window will.
He just wanted a fucking vacation down in the Med or something.
He wanted
like
to
that.
go 2 weeks.
This. Pull the yacht up. I'm out of here.
Well, here's the thing. So, and I don't know that much about the world of Hollywood, but just by some listening to podcasts, these people have to pay for these hotel. The production company has to pay for the hotel rooms and the meals. Does that mean the production company is getting stuck?
That movie will make like $1 billion fucking dollars and cover all of it.
Okay. But they still have to pay for it right now, though. I mean, they're going to be...
They're in the hole, but they'll make it out of the hole. Trust me. Okay. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. All right. So, oops. I need the plug. So getting in a little bit of entertainment, we're not going to do...
Oh, I got some... You left some stuff off.
I left 2 things off.
Yeah, you left... Well, I know of one you left off, and then I had one that I was going to throw
What was
on.
it? Sorry. What? Go for it.
You left off Army of Dead.
I didn't see that.
Army of the Dead. Yeah, we did. We saw it with...
the movie Army of the Dead. I'm sorry, I didn't see it on your notes.
No, I didn't put that on the notes, but you totally left it off entertainment, and we watched it on Sunday.
Army of the Dead.
It's good. It's got
on Netflix, yep.
What's the wrestler's name?
Batista.
Yeah. David, right? David Batista?
Yeah.
And
yes, it was a fun movie.
It's got some fun parts.
Fun fact.
It does have it's a little gory. So if you don't like gore, it's a zombie movie. If you don't like gore, don't watch it. However, the ending did piss me off.
Why?
Because you don't know what the fuck happens.
It's it's basically like Day of the Dead, where it was the mall one. He's the same director from the one at the mall.
Okay.
And you remember that one?
I do. I don't remember the ending, but I remember
That's why. Because it just fucking ends.
Makes me angry. Then I start looking at you. I'm like, you don't know about this. You don't know about this. You don't know about this. And I'm like.
So, fun fact, and you can watch this.
They did have a really cool behind the scenes.
They did do a pretty cool behind the scenes, but the pilot was supposed to be Chris D'Elia or whatever it is. The fucking comedian that got like Me Too'd out of there from Whitney, the show Whitney that we used to watch.
Oh, the comedian dude, the tall skinny guy.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love him.
He got Me Too'd.
I didn't
he was
know that.
in it, and they shot all of the scenes with him as the pilot.
What, did he just recently get Me Too'd?
He got Me Too'd like a year ago.
So why did they take him out?
Because he got fucking Me Too'd.
Well, when did they film this movie?
Well, there was a bunch of shit. D'Elia, thank you guys. D'Elia, whatever. Who am I to know?
I love him.
He's a funny dude, but he pulled some dick moves.
Oh, but didn't they know that when they started production?
No, because they had filmed the fucking movie.
Oh.
And then...
Well, did they film it that long ago?
It was a couple of years ago, and then he got Me Too'd like last year.
Because she was an odd character.
I'm not saying Me Too'd and he did some dumb shit.
I know, but she was like the pilot they casted. I was like, she's an odd character. It could have fit him better than it fit her. She did, especially if she was all of a sudden in there. But
it is a fun fucking.
It's got some great action in it. It's got a lot of.
It was like over 2 hours too.
It's got a lot of shit that blows up and a lot of gunfire and it was good.
Stuff like that.
The other one that nobody's going to care about, but I care about, is I am reading 50 Shades of Grey again because
You're reading it
again
because you've read all of the porno.
No,
books
because she said
find?
So. She did 3 based off
Is that why I saw a review? Okay, so
Yeah.
so
Stop,
you guys.
I'm telling a story. Just wait.
No, just so you guys know, I get a pop-up on my phone because she uses my goddamn Amazon and she writes reviews under my Amazon
Because I can't
account.
figure out how to do it on mine, and now all the books are on
So
this
now
one.
it looks like
so
I'm a fucking.
you could go. I can go in there and edit and be like, "This is
Goddamn-
Greg's wife." If you're so like, if I demand,
sexual deviant over here, and it's really Beth.
are you really that worried?
No, but
Exactly.
still.
But so she did 3 books from the female lead's perspective. She did 2 books from the male lead's perspective, and she just released the 3rd and final book. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to read these again because, and I'm really surprised I still liked him as much as I liked him the first time.
Cool.
And I'm reading it this time. Her first book, his first book, her second book, her third.
Dude,
Right, Gigi?
she's been reading about sex
This
for a year and a half.
and it has definitely benefited you. So cállate.
She literally can't find anything else to do.
No, I have tons more to read.
She's out of things.
I have tons more to read, but you're going to ruin your fun if you
Like-
keep complaining.
We don't have kids, so we have 3 bedrooms up here. We're gonna have a fucking dungeon pretty soon. It's gonna be.
I mean, at least we'll
Shit's
use one of the
getting weird.
rooms. But so it was good. It's been fun. I told you nobody would care, but I cared.
You do care.
I do care, and I'm gonna start doing reviews all the time because I know it bugs you.
I don't give a fuck.
I know
I
you
just
don't.
like making fun of you.
Okay.
The Irregulars on Netflix is pretty fun. DJ said porn is free on the internet, so just so you know, very true. It's more realistic, but it does. You know what?
Is
But the
it?
stories? Come on.
There's just no love story behind it. I mean, I need the love. I love the sex part. I need the love though too. I need the romance.
Christ. I don't even
You don't
know
get
what to say.
romance with porn. You get a suck it, baby.
You could.
No, you can't.
You have to watch the whole thing though.
No,
where they
I've watched
cuddle
the
afterwards.
porn for women, and it's got
Like, you've
nicer
never seen
music.
the ones where they cuddle?
It's got nicer music, and at the end of that one, they do cuddle for 30 seconds before the camera cuts out.
Ugh.
But
Just no, I don't need to see all that bullshit. Just get it done, and then we'll get it done, and then move the fuck on.
thanks, Gigi, for caring. She goes, I care. Somebody loves
Fuck
me.
yeah!
Somebody
All right,
does
so
love me.
good Netflix show that I found, and it's pretty popular, and Beth hasn't had a chance to catch
I
it.
haven't.
It's called The Irregulars on Netflix, and it's like a Sherlock Holmes, and I'm a few episodes in, and they're just starting to kind of introduce the character of Sherlock Holmes, but it's based on the next generation down from him. So it's pretty cool. The first 3 episodes in are very unique, and
That's interesting because they just did the sister of Sherlock Holmes. Netflix
Right.
just did.
remember that was Emma Watson.
No, it
Or
was
was
the
that the
girl
niece
from.
of-
It was the girl from Upside Down World.
Oh no, Emma Watson. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, the girl from Upside Down World.
No, but what is
11.
that? 11. But what's the name of
It
that?
was a really good movie, and we watched it. And it was
Fucking
fun.
show.
Anyway,
And so it was cute. But that's kind of cool that they're doing
the
that.
worst.
So we are the worst. So you liked it, and you thought that I should watch
I think
it
you'd
because
like
I would
it.
probably
I think,
like it.
Yeah, it's
Too
right
busy
up that
reading
alley.
porn.
It's right up that alley. Give me 1 second. I'll find that. So yeah, if you get a minute, and it could be a late night watch, whatever.
So we get the Discovery Plus because now I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but all the shows,
Stranger Things.
all the shows that used to be on Travel Channel that were like all the
Millie Bobby Brown.
there you go, all the paranormal shows are
Nola
no
Holmes.
longer or much later now releasing on Travel Channel because they're on Discovery Plus. So we started looking for some stuff, and there was a bunch of new ones from Portal to Hell, which is Jack Osborne and Katrina.
Been around for
It's
few
this
years.
is second season.
Yep.
But they did a half a season and then it stopped, I think, because the pandemic, and then they started back up because they released a whole bunch at the beginning of this year. They did one on the Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, Arizona, which we love that hotel, and every time we would go skiing, that's where we would.
So if you ever get a chance to
stay.
go up to Flag, you go from Phoenix to Flag. It's like
About
2.5 hours.
yeah.
Flagstaff's really got a really cool downtown.
It's got a good vibe. It's
this
kind of
hotel is
eclectic. This
quirky,
hotel is
eclectic. It's been around for a million
ever.
years. And this episode was filmed, I think, in April. It was put out in April. Or
I think it was released late April, which probably means it was.
So, but the idea of this is we were watching it. You guys know we watch a bunch of ghost stories.
Paranormal
We watch
stuff,
like all
yeah.
the bullshit. We watch it fucking all because I can sleep while I fall asleep, whatever.
It doesn't require all your attention. You just have to pay attention when they catch something
Right.
badass.
So we're not gonna be able to hear audio, but look in the bottom left.
Oh, I caught this.
Yeah, Beth caught this one thing, and I can't really blow it up anymore. Maybe you'll see it down.
I'm surprised.
That's
Did
Jack Osborne. That's my lamp. That's not a haunted lamp. All right. So you'll see in just a second. There's
Logan,
like this.
it makes for a great drinking game too.
Yeah. There's like a pool ball right in just a second. You're gonna see. Watch right at the bottom. See that pool ball go through, and it fucking disappears.
And
So-
I was like, holy shit, Greg, did you see that?
Right here. That's not a bug or anything.
No.
Dude, we've watched so many of these things, we can do it ourselves.
And that one is like super fast. And I was like, holy shit, Greg, did you see that? And he's like, no, what? Rewind it. And so I rewound it. And we rewound it again. And that's when I was like, and it just disappears like in the middle of the pool table.
The thing
And they
was,
didn't mention it.
they never mentioned it.
Were you ever able to find either one of them, or you're like, hey, you guys, you didn't mention
posted
this?
it to them. Yeah. I think they've got a few other people that they're probably talking to.
Well, that person.
I don't
should
think
be
it was CGI though.
No.
Because normally they catch shit like that and
They usually catch spheres,
yeah,
and this was.
it just looked like a goddamn pool ball.
It did look like a
Rolling
pool ball
through.
that just rolled through, and I was like, and then it disappears. I was like,
Maybe
I
it
mean,
was. I don't know. Maybe it was.
maybe
Like,
it was.
what do they
but
call them? An Easter egg. Maybe it was like an Easter egg for
I don't know.
watchers. But I didn't catch it at first. She caught it. So
But that's what I'm
Fun
saying.
things.
You know, we only look at the cool parts, and then we could do other stuff while we're watching it.
Yep.
But Tyler Perry, huh?
yeah, we're gonna skip that one.
I fucking love Medea movies. Don't skip it.
Don't skip it. You wanna go
She
over it?
makes me laugh. That woman cracks me up.
All right. So Tyler Perry is making Medea movie number 12.
Is it really number 12?
Yep. A Medea Homecoming. And I read the article on it. He said, we need more laughter. And he thought he was completely done with it. Right? So he's doing one that's called a Homecoming. So I was like, cool. I mean, you think he's been doing it since 2005?
She just cracks me up because she's an old streetwalker who loves marijuana. And like, I love the 2 Halloween ones.
She was a hooker?
Yeah, and her
I
brother.
didn't know that.
Her brother, I think, was her pimp.
Oh, shit, I
the
didn't
old
know
guy
that.
that's always there.
Yeah.
He was the pimp. I think all 3 of them used to like
Hoe?
hoe it out
I didn't
there.
know that.
She'll say like, back in my day when we hoed around, you know. So it
Was that more of like...
No.
But I thought it was so cool. I mean, we watched one a couple
Halloween
weeks.
one, yeah.
Was it the Halloween one? a
Yeah, I
couple
don't know
weeks
why it was
ago?
on. It's not
Whatever.
October, but it was
Yeah.
on and we watched it.
That franchise has grossed over $1 billion.
It's because it's fucking hilarious.
They really are.
They're fun. That's the piece
That's
about
really
it.
what it
They're
is.
fun.
Yeah.
They don't take themselves too seriously, and they get some fun people involved in those movies. So I will definitely check it
Yeah.
out.
And then lastly, fucking
What?
Indiana Jones. I got a picture of that.
Who's going to be in this?
So Indiana Jones. Who do you think?
Well, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. I don't know who else.
Is he going to
So-
have a son that he's now passed the
Josh
buck
Gad actually posted this picture, so he's an actor. You would know him if you saw his face. It's kind of a portly, funny, curly-haired dude. But we'll see. I'm just hoping it's not fucking like the Crystal Skull or some bullshit like that. It needs to be back to adventure stuff. And Shia LaBeouf, I hope he's not in it. But maybe he is. Maybe he's got his shit together.
to? Is he still acting?
I don't know.
I don't know
Maybe.
either.
Probably. I think he is. So, yeah, it's all good. So, my feel good is we're heading up to Austin tomorrow. Hang out with Julia Munguia.
I have.
Munguia. God damn it, I forgot how to say it again. Yep. And we're going to see her. Hopefully, we'll definitely be going to the Drinking Bros studio on...
It's
maybe if
weird
not
that we're
tomorrow.
taking a day and a half off in the middle of the week and then
Yep.
going back to work on Friday. It's going to be...
It's going to be a fun little break. And then Thursday, we'll definitely be there going in to watch the Ross Patterson Revolution be filmed. And then probably, I think it's Fake News. We'll see that on Saturday, or on Thursday, rather. So it'll be kind of a fun week. That's my feel good. I'm just looking forward to hanging out with them, hanging out with Julia and her fiance.
it'll be fun. It'd be
'Cause we
nice
haven't
to
met
meet her
her
in
fiance.
person.
Yeah. What's that?
It'll be nice because I haven't met her.
You met her.
I did?
Yeah, you met her. She was at the election show.
Oh, well.
You just don't remember.
No. A few too many White
She's working
Claws.
on a lot of our designs for the bars open.
Too many White Claws that started at 3 p.m.
You actually hung out with her early, too.
Did I really?
Yeah, with Craig and all these guys and Ruben and everybody else. Sorry, honey. It's not my brain that
way to thank
browned
under
it
the bus,
all out.
man. It's all right. I blame you for whenever I get drunk, so it's all
Craig
your
said
fault.
Beth was her best self that trip. Goddamn right she was, man. I had to put her to bed at like 10:30.
10:30. I actually looked at you and was like, I think I need to go to bed. Mine is, my feel good is
We met at the cruise, yeah.
Yes. My feel good is a dad with his triplets.
Cool.
And he is trying to get them. Are you turning it on?
What's he trying to do? Get them all to fucking do what they're supposed to?
Okay, so here, this is how it starts. Kid
You
on the
blow it
table.
up?
Yeah. Oh.
There you go. There you go. That's good. So he's just trying to get him, and they just keep climbing. Oh, dude,
There he goes to one.
He needs to just grab them both.
That's what I was thinking. You need to grow them
He's
both.
having fun with it.
Well, the kids are getting pissed. It's kind of funny. It takes him a while before he finally
Just
is
grabs
like...
him, but it's like palms his fucking forehead.
But
like,
then he's like, why am I not just picking these things up?
smart dad. Until the kid grabs the chair and pulls it on top of his head.
Well, pretty soon.
My
there
brother
won't be
had
any
2
chair.
sets of twins, so...
2 sets? But they were at different
They were
times, and there's only
very
2 of them.
different
This
times.
is 3. Could you imagine? No. So I thought that was cute. It made me chuckle.
Yeah. So that's what we're here for.
It's funny.
Chuckles. So, herding kittens, exactly. So, today in history, 1786, first commercially produced ice cream.
Ice cream.
An ad in the New York Post. This is what the name of the New York paper was. The New York Post Boy newspaper reads, "Ladies and gentlemen, may be supplied with ice cream every day at the City Tavern by their humble servant, Joseph Crow." So, 1786, where your first mass-produced
Ice cream is one of my favorite things in the
Me
world.
too, especially during summer. So,
Comes some. I see some blizzards in our future.
yep, got a Dairy Queen down the street.
Right
That
down the
fucking
street.
Dairy Queen line will be 9 million cars long.
It's like you got to be ready to wait for like 30
I go there and
minutes.
I save a podcast to listen.
You do, and you stand in line. You wait in line very graciously.
Yep.
While I'm like, baby, you should go get us blizzards.
Yep. So, hey guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. Go out, like and subscribe to the show. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Also, share it with people. Get this thing a little bit bigger for us if you don't mind.
do it.
Go out to iTunes, give a little review for us if you don't mind. A little 5-star. But other than that, go out and make the fire. Do something good for each other. Ian, come get a beer. I know you're probably sleeping right now because you don't have a kid in the house right now because she's at camp. Cheers, Evan Haley. We miss you very much. Thanks to military first responders. Without you guys, we can't do this shit. So we will catch you on Friday, and we'll
Bye,
give
guys.
you a
Have a
fun
great
little
week.
update. Have a great night. Take care.